Hi, my name is Jim Binion, and today I'd like to do my talk on the hidden government in school. Now, looking at the school's organization chart is always a good place to begin to understand whose job is where. It allows you to put names to boxes, and because an organizational chart is in a hierarchical format, that lets you see who nominally would be considered in charge. But this is only true realistically when you look at whose the head is going to be on the chopping block and who gets the praise. There are those in every school whose influence far outweighs their place in the organization. And I don't really like to use the term hidden government. It reminds me too much of conspiracy theorists, and I really think of them more as hidden influencers. Because there are those who, regardless of what they do, are able to influence more than others. And there are also outside influences that are able to influence in ways that are sometimes positive and oftentimes corrosive, but yet those people are far outside of what we will personally have to deal with most of the time. There are many people who don't notice the many individuals who are in the schools in the area of maintenance. They're just a figure changing light bulbs, fixing things. They clean floors and are responsible for supplies. They keep our children's hands sanitized, and they look after all the germs that we now have to deal with. And they're usually given very little notice. The school maintenance staff are a tremendous source of information about activities around the school. And they're unseen, so they're able to give information that might otherwise be missed by other people. They're in every room in the building. They're in the halls. They have time to listen. And a savvy principal will use that information to get a better handle on the health of the school. And they can usually find out things long before they hear it from teachers. Another source that most of us actually do recognize as being a large part of school affairs is the school secretary. She helps keep track of the principal's time, from setting schedules for those who wish to talk to him to fielding calls from irate parents. Many don't often understand the amount of sway they actually have as gatekeepers to the principal. The school secretary is also a source of information from the principal. They hear complaints of the teachers and oftentimes relay this information. Sometimes they give greater influence to some teachers' opinions and complaints than others. And it's at times like these when they can be somewhat coercive, because you have to curry favor with them in order for your opinions to be heard. Not always the case, but there are those who are like this. And there are many other organizations that influence school direction as well. One group is well known as teacher organizations, from unions to special interest groups who wish to have a voice at the table. Of course, we always hear about the teachers' union and the actions that they take. especially when they strike. But there are many smaller ones that are groups of teachers who work together to influence school direction as well. Of course, there are subtle influencers that most of us probably will not know about when we start working. Those who expect to be treated differently because of their position in the community or personal finances. They may not exert their influence in a traditional fashion, but they're the gorilla in the room in many instances. We as teachers don't often even know who they are, but can feel their disapproval when we cross them. The last group I'd like to talk about is the biggest of all, parents. We have to learn to deal with many types of parents. Those who can't be bothered by parent-teacher conferences, to those who volunteer for every class function. And then there are always the activist parents. They attend meetings, often with a personal agenda or a chip on their shoulders. These influencers are difficult. Sometimes you can work with a lone parent whose belief structure is different from yours. And even if you don't agree, you can come up with a compromise that works. At other times, parents band together in various size groups to bring their agendas in front of the PTAs and school boards. They have a lot more influence, not only because they attend meetings, they influence voting patterns in an attempt to move school agendas one way or another. It is always best, if at all possible, to stay on these people's good side. Now, I know it seems like there are a lot of forces that we have to deal with, and honestly, when we first start, we won't know any of them. But that's okay. We may have times where we do cause problems with them, and other times when we're doing great, but we still won't know about it. We as teachers have to learn to navigate these waters, and in the end, those hidden influencers can help us in a lot of different ways. Thank you.